Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Fallon. It's like Jimmy Fallon, but it's my first name. So I am super excited because today we are going to dive into all things the Ninja Notebook. So for those of you who don't know, I do have a product in my business. It is the Ninja Notebook. It is actually going through a few changes right now. There were a few differences between the first round and the second, third, fourth rounds, and basically that had to do with size. But because of the trends that I am seeing in design for 2022, the Ninja Notebook is going to get a facelift for the next year. Everything is going to remain the same about the interior, but that's going to be for later on in the video. I really want to dive right into how you can properly use your Ninja Notebook. So first things first, when you open up the Ninja Notebook, you're going to immediately find the copyright page and then 3 tips to successfully use this notebook. So I did this on purpose because I felt like there were going to be a lot of questions about how to successfully use a notebook, and there are. So I created this page for you to reference so that you know exactly what to do when you use this notebook. So there are a lot of different things that you can use this for. Again, we're going to dive into it very shortly, but these are my go-to tips and they're all right here for you in your own notebook, okay? As we turn the page, we get to the example page, and I have a blank page here set for you to write a note to yourself. Now, I did not fill out my note to myself because it was very much a rush to get into this notebook. But for your own reference, this example page literally outlines exactly how to use the structure of the Ninja Notebook. Now, the Ninja Notebook's pages, I'll just give you a quick look through. They're not like regular notebook pages. They are set up so that you have the notes section and that you also have mainly an action section here on the side. So I go over the actual example in the beginning up front of how you would use the notebook. Now, I am going to tell you, for those who do order the Ninja Notebook now, because there are some facelift issues that do have to get addressed, the current round still has this picture in it. And this picture is no longer relevant because this particular section of the Ninja Notebook was taken out. So that is something that, yes, this is why we're getting that facelift edition in 2022. But more or less, here we outline how this action area is specifically for your to-dos or for actionable items from your notes. And your notes are going to be over here on the side, okay? This is in that line section. So any kind of action item that you know you have to take, you put it over here in the action area next to those check boxes. There's so much psychology and so much behind having a box for you to either put an X through, check, or cross off, because when we cross something off, what happens is our brain gets an immediate hit of dopamine. And when we get that hit of dopamine, then we want to do more. So we want to do more actions. We want to keep moving the needle forward in whatever it is that we are learning about or doing in our business, etc., etc. It's just like when you're on social media and you see all of those likes. We all want those vanity metrics. We all want zillions of likes and hundreds of comments. So why not provide a dopamine hit in your notebook so that you actually implement what it is that you are working on? So that's that action area here. Down underneath is an important info area. Now, truth be told, this area was specifically put there because of the amount of times I hear books given to me as a recommendation, or podcasts, or websites. You should go check out this website. YouTube's, you should go check out this TV show, this series, this documentary. And so this important info area is really a space so that when people bring up these things for you to go check out, then you're like, okay, I have that reference and I'm gonna write it down here. Now, you can write it in the action area by all means. If it's something that you're like, I am definitely gonna go do it, I encourage you to look in the action area. However, this was specifically because the way that A lot of people were writing their notes before. They couldn't sift through all of the information and find the reference to the resource that they were going to go find. So I put it here specifically as a structured area for the fact that everybody likes to be able to find what those recommendations and what those references are. So that is right down here at the very bottom corner, even again going into the regular pages here, it's in the bottom corner of all of the pages. So that is the example page. Again, it lines everything out here, but I'm doing this video because I love you and because it's more content for my YouTube. So over on this side is the note to self section. I love to start my notebooks with a note to myself. This one I did not because, again, I was in a rush to do so. But if I go back in time to every notebook that I've ever written in, I have a note to myself. Dear Fallon, you have taken so much action and implemented everything you possibly could to grow thus far. That is this particular notebook. If I were to go into this particular notebook, Dear Fallon, you are going to do it. Whatever comes out of this notebook is going to move your business forward by epic proportions. That's this one. I could, again, the list goes on and on and on. I'll do this last one as another just quick example. Dear Fallon, momentum sounded cool, but it's actually super exhausting, as we've come to learn. So it is very important for me to capture where I am mentally when I write myself the note that I start in the beginning of my notebook, because there is a lot of growth that happens when you start your notebook to when you finish it. It's 192 pages. The whole notebook, which is about 3 months worth of content. Yeah, 3 months worth of content. For those of you who are struggling to make content, or for those of you who don't know where to start with your content, go to a notebook. It covers so much in terms of your growth in your mindset, in terms of what you're learning, and in terms of articles of content that you can put out into your social media channels, into your business, into what you're teaching your clients, etc., etc. So I always like to start my notebooks with the note to self exercise, because then I can accurately capture where I am when I start this notebook, and I can compare it to where I end when I'm done with the notebook. And there's even, if you flip all the way to the back here, a section to share your wins with me, because over the course of the 3 months that you'll likely be using this notebook, then you're going to be able to see all of the wins in that period of time. And then I'm encouraging you to look through all of this content and all of this growth so that you can share it with me along the way. So that is the importance of the note to self section. Now, after that section is the table of contents. So you might be able to see it, you might not. I have some things over here this is the topic section, and what you're gonna do is you write the topic, which again, when you turn over to these pages, it's in this upper right hand or left hand corner under the date. You're gonna write in the topic, and then you're also gonna write in the corresponding page number. Now again, another reason why the Ninja Notebook is getting a facelift is because the current editions do not have page numbers. There is a rhyme and there is a reason. Basically, it costs more money to get the page numbers printed because of the ink, but it also costs more money because these are color printed pages. You can see it, they're cream colored, and you might not be able to really distinguish it right now, but these lines, everything in this notebook is not black ink. This is navy ink. If you look very, very closely, it is all blue. And again, there is another reason why. And the reason why it is blue on a cream page is because it is not as difficult for your eyes to see the page, because what happens is it absorbs some light opposed to reflecting light off the page. So white light on white pages, what happens? Your eyes are like, you can't see anything, because then it's reflecting every single wavelength of light back up into your eyes. And for people who are very sensitive in terms of light, it starts to really cause a really big differentiation in how you look at your notebook. So I purposely made these pages cream color pages, and I purposely wanted it to be navy ink so that everything is easier on your eye. So again, just as a quick reference and just as a quick overview, you write the section or the topic here, and then you write the corresponding page number here. Now, as I have mentioned, the page numbers are not in the bottom right and left hand corners because of the ink and because of the color printing, but because of the fact that the Ninja notebook is now 5.5 by 8.5 as opposed to 9.5 by 11. This is 9.5 by 11, and this is the new edition, the 5.5 by 8.5. This definitely costs much less money for it to get printed. And that's another reason why we're going to be doing the facelift in 2022, because it is going to be much more affordable, actionable, and much easier to have all of the page numbers and everything captured in the smaller version versus this big version. So we are going to be making those changes again for the upcoming edition of the Ninja notebook. So these are the interior pages. As you can see, I have mine pretty filled out because I love taking notes, and also because notes are so important for so many different aspects of business and so many different aspects of content and so many different aspects of even sales. So I have everything in here all lined out, and basically the way that you use this notebook, I'm going to outline my top 3 uses, okay? And the way that you use it is whatever you're learning, if you're using it to learn, you would write here in the notes section. And from what you're learning or from what you're reading, even the notes that you take here, then what you're going to do is you're going to transpose the action items, literally the actions that you are going to go take from what it is that you're learning and go do in the world, and you're going to go write them here, so that when you come back to your notebook, instead of flipping through the pages and not being able to figure out what it is that you have to do, as soon as you open it up, you're immediately reminded of the tasks that you have at hand. So that is the really important part of the Ninja notebook. Now, if you are a college student, if you are a high school student, this is going to be a little different, but I would still encourage you to do the same transposition in that, let's say you're taking notes for a math class. You have all your notes of how the equation works here, but you also know that there is a step that you so frequently forget to take in that whole equation. What I would do, besides writing down your homework over here, is I would write down that step that you forget. Because when you constantly remind yourself to do whatever division at step 5, then you're going to remember that, because that is the one thing you forget. So when you come back, you're literally referencing the things that you know you struggle with here, and then you're going to start implementing them as you practice with your homework. Okay, so it is a little different, again, depending on how you're using it, but most of the time for entrepreneurs who are learning, notes, actions. For students who are learning, notes, actions, and remembrances, more or less, things you want to save, right, in your brain. So that is the main use, number 1, in fact. And then number 2 would be for clients. A lot of the time when entrepreneurs, small business owners, any kind of content creator, whenever we are reaching out to brands or, we're talking to our clients, they have specific things that they require. So we write down throughout the entire call all of the things that we discuss, all of the things that happen, and then from that we can write down all of the things that we as the coach, or we as the influencer, or we as the business owner need to do from those one-on-one calls. So that is another very important, again, transposition of the notes to the actions. In each of these uses, notice how it's transposing the information into usable actions, usable, doable tasks. That is the importance of this line here, all right? Yes, you're going to want a date. Yes, you're going to want a topic, because this is going to help you write the table of contents, and this is going to help you remember when in time it was. But the most important part is being able to take and extrapolate what you are learning into actionable tasks. So that is, again, the second most important use of the Ninja Notebook. Now, the third most important use for the Ninja Notebook by far is brain dumping. A lot of the time we get very caught up in what it is that we are thinking about because we have too many thoughts swirling around in our head. On average, humans think anywhere between like 70 and 90,000 thoughts per day, and we can't even remember more than 80% of them. Like we have a hard time remembering 20% of them. So in order for us to truly get things done and to truly create and be efficient and productive, if we dump everything out that's going on in our head onto the Ninja Notebook, then what we're gonna do is we're gonna start to notice the things that we truly want to create, or we truly want to move forward with, or that we truly need to address in order for us to move the needle forward in our studies, in our business, in our lives. So brain dumping is my third most favorite use for the Ninja Notebook, because again, you have all of this space to dump out all of your thoughts, all of the anxieties, the worries, whatever it is that's going on in your noggin. And then from there, you extrapolate what you're going to do out of that. So you're going to literally write, okay, I see a pattern and a trend for speaking. I'm going to start a podcast. I'm going to start to book a guest event tour. I'm going to start to get myself onto speaking stages. That is your actionable tasks from that brain dump that you did. Okay? So this is, again, the beauty of the Ninja Notebook, where you're not just writing information, you're extrapolating it. I've also had people use the Ninja Notebook for their manifestations and for their intentions, and they have been able to do really tremendous things with their Ninja Notebook and manifest huge things, like huge sums of money, huge relationships, great strides in terms of their own confidence because of the Ninja Notebook. And they write down everything that it is they're feeling, and then from there they start to write, okay, what is one thing or three things, whatever, that I can do today to better what's going on in here? Okay, I can focus on my boundaries, I can enter conversations with intention, and I can focus on my work without letting other things get in the way. So by doing that, their manifestations start to come true, because again, manifestations is inspired action. It's the ability to take what it is we want to manifest and take inspired action on it. So again, another really cool bonus use of the Ninja Notebook. So that's why I love it so much. That's why I created it. Again, it is going to go through a facelift for 2022, but we currently have 88 notebooks left. So if you are not with a notebook, if you are ready to get your notebook, if you are like, oh my God, I need one right now, then I would highly encourage you to secure it before they are gone, because once these 88 are gone in this edition, then or even this edition, the 5.5 by 8.5, then they are gone. This next coming round is going to be the round going forward that we're going to be using in 2022 and beyond. So if you have not gotten yours, I highly, highly encourage you to do so. There have been over 300 sold already worldwide, and I am so excited because it's my notebook. I love it. All right, so link is down in the description for those of you who use the Ninja Notebook. I would love to know what you think of it down below in the comments, and I can't wait to see you in our next video. I'm so super excited to be going in this social media content note direction, the efficiency, the legacy direction, and I am really excited for more to come. So I know this was a long one. They usually aren't this long, but I had to explain everything about the Ninja Notebook. So as you already know, be sure to subscribe because you love my face, and click the bell because you love my face even more for your notifications. And this is Fallon signing off. Okay, bye.